we have a bunch of new connectors, and I think that's really powerful. Just so you know that we haven't stopped at the 5 or 10 main ones that you might be using. We keep adding the ones that we keep hearing about that you want to connect to, or again that other people are bringing to our attention. Okay, so new connectors. We're announcing 5 new connectors in this release. One is called Asana. One is called GoToWebinar. You're on a GoToWebinar right now. One is Sage Intacct. That's an ERP software. And then Microsoft Fabric and Synapse, which I alluded to a little bit earlier. Okay, so Asana. If you are using Asana, right, you're probably doing something with project management, task management, strategic planning. All those areas are supported. We have over 20 out-of-the-box lists. It supports custom fields. If you need to report on, or you're using Asana and need some better reporting or ad hoc reporting, get to that data, this is a great connector for you. GoToWebinar, right? There are a number of people, even E1 internally has looked at, how do we manage people that attend the webinar? How do we make sure that we follow up on any questions that were asked inside of there that didn't get addressed during the webinar? Any other details? You can use these, and again, there's out-of-the-box lists for you, built-in details to keep drilling down to it to see, if there were any questions from that specific user, or again, if they were attentive, or all those things that you can see in a webinar. Okay, the Sage Intacct. Now this is a big connector. This is a full ERP connector. This is something that we've had a number of partners and customers, some customers maybe that have been on some of the products that we've supported for years that are going to this new product. And we have capability, again, out of the box. There's over 55 lists, but there's a whole lot more lists of data that you can get. So basically anything inside of Sage, we have access to get to, which is really nice. We have those pre-built details. You can keep drilling down to everything you need to inside of that system. And we can add custom fields, we can add custom lists, all those things are capable. And I think a really big one is we can embed inside of Sage Intacct. So if you want to embed a widget inside of there, this is something that is really helpful. And again, give you a use case if you are coming from, say, GP or SL or NAV or something like that. You can take that historical data and still view that right inside of Sage Intacct. Okay, another really big one, and I'm not going to give the justice today. We're probably going to have follow-up webinars to dig into these ones a little bit more, but these are some really powerful connectors that are starting to come out where we're not necessarily just working with, simple direct connection to a system anymore. A lot of people are moving stuff into a data warehouse or data lake or data lakehouse. And so Microsoft Fabric is certainly one of those that's really popular. And this connector is going to allow us to hook into that one lake and again, allow working with large sets of data, very manageable right from Popdock. And again, I'll add one more thing, moving it from a developer experience to more allowing an end user to get at that data without always needing IT. Same kind of thing with Microsoft Azure Synapse. That's a big part of working with huge data sets and allowing us to quickly, get data out of really, millions and millions and millions of records and being able to return that in a useful and quick enough manner that it's good for an end user. And a big part of this too is, you'll see this again, we're going to get into this in a follow-up webinar, but being able to combine information from multiple connectors, multiple lists that are sitting in the data lake. We have a query builder that's built into this connector as well that allows us to do some really powerful things. So I'm excited about all these new connectors. Again, you may not be using all of them, but there's some really cool things that maybe even other areas of your company are going to be able to utilize Popdock even further.